We are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. This is Holly Ladd. She's a wellness coach, and she's on with us this morning to talk about healthy living. Taking your calls at 737-7587. And we actually have a caller. We waited through the break. Can we take it? It's really, you're here. I mean, it's my show, but you're my guest. And
Let's hear what they have to say.
Tom, good morning. What's on your mind?
Yeah, good morning. I just turned 40, and I've never had issues with cholesterol or blood pressure, but now I'm needing to find myself to lower my blood pressure and try to lower my cholesterol and try to improve my blood pressure. What foods could I eat to help with that? I don't really want to start medicine at this point.
And I'm with him all the way.
Absolutely.
And I sympathize with what he's going through. So a lot of people have high cholesterol, and they're on statin drugs. And my rule of thumb on that is if you're super, super high, yeah. But I told my doctor I'm not taking it. I don't have any other health risks, but my cholesterol is elevated. Now, this is my call. I'm not saying you should do it. But if I don't smoke, I don't drink to excess, I try to eat healthy, I've got decent body weight, and I exercise. Okay, so those are all positives.
Right.
Okay, I have high cholesterol. So I've got one of maybe 6. I'm going to take my chances. I don't want to take a pill the rest of my life.
Yeah, I don't blame you. So I'm not a doctor.
Because there are side effects too. It can affect liver enzymes. It can affect your
Muscles.
joints. I think Crestor, not Crestor, I can't remember which one it was. One of the statins, I think at one point, thought was messing with my memory. Now that may be all in my head, who knows? But I just assume not be on a pharmaceutical the rest of my life.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that with a good diet, you can avoid being on statins. And I think when we're like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm just coming from my health coach perspective. Okay, so I have to put that disclaimer out there.
All right, so he's one of your clients, and his doctor just told him he's elevated to the point. Now, some people need to be on statins if they've got 500 level cholesterol. That means your blood oozes. Yeah, all right. But he comes to you and he goes, look, my doc says I'm a little elevated. What can I do?
Right.
What would you recommend to him? I guess you'd look at what he's doing now. Yeah,
we would review what you're eating currently and then go from there. So new research is showing that a lot of cholesterol is caused not by fats per se, but by carbohydrates and sugar and refined sugar and simple processed foods. So the first thing I would do is if you have that condition, I would say, let's reduce your sugar consumption. Let's look at your processed foods and try to eliminate those and go more towards a whole foods diet with a lot of fruits and vegetables, like we talked about, eating the rainbow, right? That will help with your inflammation. That helps with everything. I mean, I can't stress it enough how much it's important to eat fruits and vegetables on a daily basis and lots of them, right? If you look at the standard American diet, fruits and vegetables are really not a big part of our diet, right?
No. Do you advocate eating it throughout the day? Because really, I should probably eat more, but I do, as I said, my smoothies. And I've got a bunch in there, and I crank it, and then I drink it on my drive in. And I think I get a bunch of my fruits and vegetables out of the way in the morning. Now, that doesn't mean I don't eat any the rest of the day, but that's my main chunk. Okay, I may have a bowl of soup for lunch, and then at dinner I may have a piece of chicken or something, a little broccoli, but not a lot. So can you get it all the way out of the way at once, or do you have to eat it throughout the day?
It's a lot to get it out. I mean, that's 8.
Yeah, but when you put it in a Vitamix, and
it's true. It's true. And one thing that you're doing is you're reducing a little bit of your fiber intake when you're putting it in the Vitamix. Yeah. Because you're not chewing, and you're not, you're eliminating some of the.
Then what did you say? Is that? I'm sorry, you was talking in my ear. If you blend it up, it's good or bad?
Well, it's fine, but you are reducing some of the fiber, right? Because you've
absolutely
smashed it down so small,
but it's better than a juicer.
Better than a juicer.
Where a juicer throws that fiber out. But you're right, but the nutrition's still there.
But the nutrition is still there. So if you're just going for your nutrients, fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you need to sort of eat them throughout the day. I think it's probably better. But if you're getting 9 servings of fruits and vegetables in one smoothie, hey.
I don't know if I'm getting that many, but okay. So you would do that, and then I think didn't they say too? There's LDL and HDL cholesterol. How do you elevate your HDL, which is the good cholesterol?
So you want to eat some good avocados, avocado oil,
but aren't those fat?
olive oil.
Aren't those fatty?
Yeah, but those are good fats, right? Those are good fats that increase your HDL cholesterol.
Okay, so that will do that. But if all you do is gorge on avocado, you will, while you maybe affect your blood cholesterol in a good way, you will gain weight.
Not necessarily.
You won't?
Not
I mean, nuts are, well, there's fat in there. It may be good fat in nuts and avocados, but they're very rich. And if you eat a lot of those, will you not get fat?
Not necessarily, because the things that really make us fat are sugar, refined foods, processed foods, junk food, soda, all the things. And then we have to look at the chemicals that are in our foods, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing that's. Ugh.
So, I mean, fat gain, is so complex anymore because there's so many factors that are going into it. It's stress, it's cortisol levels, it's beyond what you're eating, right? So I eat half an avocado a day, generally, when they're in season.
So good.
And so good for you.
Gosh,
I eat coconut oil by the tablespoonful. I eat grass-fed butter, so I think nuts, tons of nuts.
I say nuts are really, really good, right?
Really, really good for you.
Okay.
I mean, I think you have to, obviously, if you're wanting to lose weight, we have to look at portion control and that sort of thing.
Well, ultimately, too, if you want to lose weight, and you're right, I didn't take into account stress and, your genetics as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter what you eat in terms of weight. If you literally just count calories. I don't care if I'm eating Krispy Kreme donuts or if I'm eating avocados and nuts. If I keep my caloric intake, regardless of the food stuff I'm eating each day, below 1,000 calories a day, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to. The difference is if I'm eating just Krispy Kreme donuts 1,000 calories, I'm going to get sick and get no nutrition. But I mean, it's calories. Ultimately, that's how it finally simplified for me, is just thinking to myself, there's all these donuts, just calorie counting. Now that doesn't account for nutrition. Now you tell me if you disagree. But if I'm eating 1,000 calories of Krispy Kreme donuts and 1,000 calories of avocados, that's the same fat stuff. I'm going to gain just as much weight with both.
No, I disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I disagree.
I mean, a calorie is a calorie regardless of the food stuff.
A calorie is a calorie, correct. But what a calorie does inside of your body is very different.
Yeah, okay,
so,
the nutrition-wise, right?
Well, nutrition-wise and biochemistry-wise. So when you're eating a Krispy Kreme, 1,000 calories of Krispy Kreme donuts versus 1,000 calories of broccoli,
right?
It sets off a biochemical reaction in your body, which increases your insulin resistance, which makes you hold on to fat, regardless of whether you're eating 900 or 9,000 calories of them. Whereas if you're eating the 900 calories of broccoli, it activates, detoxification pathways and, positive biochemistry, whereas eating the sugar-laden foods, whether it be Krispy Kremes or I'm just going to have ice cream all day or whatever it is, it actually promotes us to hang on to fat.
To hang on. Okay.
So
well, good.
You do have to. It's not just about calories in, calories out. It's about what calories you're eating.
Yeah. Now, and what I live by too is I don't do that with Krispy Kremes. I do though learn, because I eat healthy. But what I do is my caloric intake, if I'm concerned with that at any given time, is I monitor that. That's the easiest way for me to follow it. I mean, just how many calories I'm eating of these healthy foods.
Well, and
you reduce the number of calories, you're gonna lose weight eventually. It's just the way it is. I mean, you see it on Survivor. Okay, they go there and they're eating nothing while they're out there on the island somewhere. Yeah, you don't eat. You're gonna lose weight. I don't care what your genetics are or whatever. You're gonna starve yourself to death.
It's not a very healthy way.
No, it's not a good way to do it.
Let's not
ultimately, that's what it comes down to. I mean, really, losing weight, and not when the cholesterol question was something else, but losing weight's as simple as not eating.
Well, there you go. That's the Nick diet. Just don't eat.
As simple as not eating. Yeah, it's simple. Yeah, real easy.
If somebody wants a better way, they can call me.
Okay, yes, I recommend her way. Let's go to Ann. Hi, Ann. Good morning.
Good morning. First, let me say I do see an endocrinologist for this problem. I don't have a thyroid. And for many months now, my thyroid level has run hot. And what that has meant for me is massive weight loss. Below 100 pounds, and no matter what I do, I cannot gain weight, which what that has meant for me is all of my doctors stopping the amount of walking that I do. I'm allowed to do my yoga, my stretching, and my weight bearing exercises, which has done nothing but affect my sleeping patterns, my fibromyalgia, my arthritis. I've been under an excessive amount of stress. I have a sister with a brain tumor. I've lost a brother. I've lost a father-in-law. And nothing that they do, the changes in my thyroid medicine, has meant anything to my hot thyroid. I do not have a thyroid, and I don't understand how it can't be managed since it's being managed with a pill. Why would my body run hot when I don't have a thyroid?
Okay. Wow. Listen,
That's
and again, she's not a doctor, but from the perspective of weight gain, and I don't know, she doesn't have a thyroid. Maybe you know more about how that can affect her body chemistry and what she needs.
Yeah, Anne's actually thrown me for a loop a little bit because, first of all, I don't know. I don't know the answer to your question, Anne, but I know that, you know, more than just your thyroid can affect your hormones, your sort of pituitary axis. You know, you have this connection. So it could be coming from the brain, it could be coming from stress, it could be coming from a number of factors. You know, it sounds, Anne, like you've had a pretty stressful go at it. Like you said, you had a high stress levels. That could be, you know, precipitating the issue. I would recommend, there are a couple doctors out there that really specialize in thyroid. Dr. Alan Christensen is one of them. He's out of Arizona. He has a book on, you know, thyroid and adrenal reset. There's a Dr. Sarah Gottfried who also has a book called The Hormone Solution. So I think there are some resources out there that maybe you could look into to help, because it's beyond really my scope of practice and my knowledge, and I'm so sorry that you're suffering with that. And you know, it is challenging because, you know, the majority of people who have thyroid issues are hypothyroid. They don't produce enough hormone. So she's probably in the opposite, the minority. So there's less information and there's less research.
And she's having trouble keeping weight on.
Yeah.
And despite what she's doing. Now, when you're dealing, and sometimes we hear about this with NBA players or whatever, professional athletes, which is in a different world than all of us, I know, but where they're going through the year and they have trouble keeping weight on. And ultimately, I guess it's a matter of is that where they have to just increase their caloric intake?
Yeah, I mean, they have to get
what it is they're eating?
What it is, and yeah, I mean, you have to eat a lot of food when you're expending that amount of energy, and you want to make sure that it's good foods, right? So whole foods, just eat whole grains, a lot of them, carbohydrates to fuel the sports performance, you know, healthy fats, and you know, elite athletes have a different level of nutrition and needs than the rest of us do, right?
Right.
But yeah, it really is about, at that point, eating more.
It's interesting because professional teams around the country, I'm sure the Titans as well, you know, practice what you preach, which is, you remember the old days, you'd hear there'd be a spread before or after the baseball game in the major league locker room, and it would be like fried chicken and pizza. And now, you know, you hear it's all been replaced now by basically baked chicken and salads and maybe some healthy pastas, things like that. It's completely different than the old days.
Yeah.
And Chip Kelly, you know, University of Oregon football coach, who's now the head coach in San Francisco, he was one of the first college coaches to get a nutritionist that started blending specific smoothies for individual players on what they wanted to drink.
Right.
What they needed.
And what we're seeing, the trend sort of in the future, is sort of this very personalized, bio-individualized treatments and nutrition, because everybody's biochemistry is different, right?
And that's what you'll look at when you deal with a client, right?
Sure, and the client's body is the best, you know, laboratory. It's like, let's experiment and see what works best for you.
On that note, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more calls. Brian and others, stay there. 737-7587. What do you eat that's healthy or not? We'll be back right after this.